What is going on with you guys? And today, got a chill little video. I got a video most of y'all should watch before y'all get into buying guns. If you know this is your first time buying a gun, first time gun owner, or whatever, blah blah blah. This is a video I feel like you should watch, pay attention to. This and that. You might learn a thing or two, especially if you never purchased a firearm. Maybe this can help you out. I'm not gonna go into depth on some, firearms, this not to buy. I'm just gonna go into some things that could probably save you some money. Some mistakes I made when I got into firearms, all of that, etc. Okay, so first thing I want to go into for anybody who's getting into guns and you want to buy your first gun, definitely buy you a pistol, a handgun. This could go a long way for you, and what I mean by that is you can use a handgun for home defense. You can use a handgun as an EDC weapon. You can carry it with you wherever you go, and it's concealed. You get a compact one compared to AR-15s and ARPs and shotguns and all that. So why should you buy a handgun first out of every gun? Alright, you buy your first gun. Why should you buy a handgun? Why shouldn't you go get an AR-15? Why shouldn't you go get a shotgun, this and that? It depends on a couple factors. What are you buying a gun for? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to be doing with a gun? Okay? And the main thing that I have for y'all when it comes to these things is when I first bought a gun, I bought an AR-15. Okay? That was my first gun I bought. It was a mistake. Okay? Not a mistake as I didn't need it. It didn't really fit for what I needed it for, I guess you could say like that. So I bought a gun to defend myself. That's what I wanted it for. My AR-15, it wasn't concealable as many other guns I heard that you can get. Okay, you can leave in the house, for example. Leave in the house with this gun. When I wanted to carry it in the car, I had a big ass motherfucking AR-15. Okay, I'm not gonna leave it in the car. I'm gonna bring it back in the house to defend myself, and I don't want nobody breaking in my car and I'm sleeping and they come up on the AR-15 and who knows what they do before I can report it and it ends up coming back on me. So you need to keep these things into consideration of what gun do you need, what fits you, okay? But why I say get a pistol is because a pistol can be used in the home defense. A pistol can be used as an EDC weapon. You could carry it wherever you want, etc. You know what I'm saying? You can't really do that with ARs. ARs, they're kind of straightforward. They're big, they're bulky, they do damage, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're definitely way more damage than the pistol gonna do, but we'll get into all that. Okay. Anyway, the mistake I made, why I say to save money, okay, when I had my AR-15, it couldn't defend me, or let me take that back. When I first bought my AR-15, I couldn't carry it where I wanted to carry it. I couldn't do certain things with it that I wanted to do because it was so big. And what I mean by that is when I was walking out my house, my neighbors would see me all the time with it. They would see this big ass bag I'm carrying with a gun, and most people that know guns, they're gonna know what this is. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna know it's AR-15. Bye, it don't matter. Open carries the thing. You don't care if somebody see a gun. If you got a license, but you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna get in trouble for it. But it made it way more harder to conceal this thing, and move around how I wanted to move with it, this and that. That's why I say get a pistol. It can be used in many situations. You get the pistol first, you're gonna feel defended in your home. You're gonna feel defended when you walk in your car. Maybe if you walking your kid at the park, etc., etc. Okay, that is gonna be sweet. Then once you get the pistol, go get what you want after that. Shotgun, AR-15, blah blah blah. But now we're gonna get into, before I go to the next thing, we're gonna get into how do you know what fits you, okay? Well, like I said, I wanted a gun when I first bought my gun. What can I do with it? Where can I go? How can I carry it? You know what I'm saying? Can I walk around with it without being noticed? Can I keep it concealed? Those things you want to take into consideration. With the AR-15, it's not the same. You can't really do that, When we talk about what do you need it for, this is what I say is a big thing too. Where do you live? Where do you live plays a big part in what type of gun that you want to be carrying or a gun that you want to be using, okay? So when I say where do you live, I mean, do you live in an apartment? Do you live in a house with family members? Do you live in a neighborhood? Do you live on a farm? Okay, because all these things are going to play a big part into what gun you want to be using or what gun you want to buy. Okay, get for your own. Okay, so if you something in a wider property, okay, like a farm, for example, I would recommend more something like AR-15 or a shotgun, because this is gonna give you range, and you don't know what type of situation you can get in. Okay, you might need some range. You know what I'm saying? You might need to shoot something that's over 100 yards away, or if an intruder came in your house and they're leaving the house, maybe they kidnap somebody or something and you need it back. Who knows? Okay, I'm just throwing situations out there. All right, that's not my situation. I don't live in that, but you may be in that situation. So take a look at that. You know, really look into what your situation is. So someone, let's say you're in an apartment. Okay, an apartment, I would recommend something more like a shotgun. I mean, my fault. You could use a shotgun, but if you're using a shotgun in your apartment, you probably want to go something more like birdshot or something, you know what I'm saying? Something that ain't really gonna go through a lot of walls. But pistol is something I recommend, or submachine gun, 9mm, maybe even a 22. A lot of people don't like 22s. I'm not really a big 22 fan, but they still gonna kill you. It's still a gun, it's still a bullet, and it could cause a lot of damage. Okay, what I would recommend probably for someone in an apartment is, like I said, submachine gun, any 9mm caliber, or a pistol caliber type gun. All right, not something like a 5.7 pistol, but you know, because that has a little bit of penetration to it. For someone in like a house, or maybe you have kids, or you have you know, your wife or something that's in the house too, as an intruder, you still probably wouldn't want to get a shotgun. I wouldn't recommend that unless like I said, you're using birdshot. But buckshot and slugs, they tend to go through walls, and if you're aiming at a victim and behind that victim through another wall is your child, you could potentially hit them, and that can be bad. You know what I'm saying? At that point, you would have just wanted to let the intruder take whatever he take, versus you taking your own kid's life or your own loved one's life. What I would go into more if I was in that situation, I'll probably go something like I'll go something like this. This, in my opinion, was my first pistol that I copped, and we're gonna go into why I wouldn't recommend this probably for someone who wants to travel, or you know, need a gun to carry. Get something small, concealed. Something kind of like this. This is still big, but it's concealable. All right. This is a Glock 19. All right. This one is a Gen 5 19X, but this is small enough for you to conceal, big enough to hit somebody and kill them. Okay. There's other things I got out there that's like 380 caliber and all of that. Those are what I recommend too for first gun owners, because there's not a lot of recoil in them. So if you don't have a lot of gun experience or training, these could actually be pretty good, you know what I'm saying, with not a lot of recoil and all of that. So now let's go into, now that we went over, okay, what, you know, look at your situation to find what gun you need and what fits you best. Let's go into another thing. All right, our next topic that we're going to be going into is to save you money. Is don't make this mistake I made. This is a dumb mistake, but you don't want to make this mistake. Okay, these, all right, these are holsters for pistols. Do not waste your money on this shit right here. All right, it's a soft holster. A lot of people probably use them, a lot of people don't, a lot of people hate them. I used it, I bought it. Piece of shit. All right, don't use that. Get you something more like this, something harder, hard case, you know what I'm saying? And the reason I'm gonna say that is because these have a lot of safety issues. Okay, this is a soft holster, right? There's nothing in here protecting your trigger, so you could potentially shoot yourself with this. Okay, because it's not meant to like it's meant to hold your pistol, but it's not made the same as this. This right here has a hard case. Nothing's pulling your trigger in this. Okay, recommend you a hard. Don't be cheap like me and you fuck around, get the soft holster. Go get you an actual sweet hard concealed carry holster or open carry, whatever you prefer. I prefer concealed carry. You know, I feel like open carry has a lot of flaws to it. A lot of people won't tell you that. A lot of people do like open carry, but I feel like you just want to be big badass and you want open carry. But you're not a police officer. You don't need to open carry. Concealed carry, people take guns off people's hips all the time. That's why I do not open carry. Even when I first got my gun, I've never open carried it. I'm not going to get into guns that I recommend for a beginner to get, but I will tell you this. As a beginner, I highly recommend you getting a gun with a safety on it, because as a new gun owner, I feel like there's a lot of chances for mistakes. As you never owned a gun, you don't know. You can make a mistake. You could pull the trigger accidentally not thinking. And this is where I was going to say too, is attention. You really have to pay attention. I'm going to go over a funny mistake I had back then. Okay, way back then, I had a revolver. Okay, I had a .45 caliber revolver, and I wasn't paying fully attention. Okay, this gun jammed on me multiple times. So as I was messing with it, I was just trying to see how many rounds did I have to have so it didn't jam, because when I maxed out the clip, it jammed. Or the magazine, it jammed. As I took some bullets out, it wouldn't jam. So I was just trying to figure it out. I got a phone call from my wife. She called me, this and that, and I walked away from it. And when I came back, I went to clear the gun, but I thought I had already cleared it because I took my attention off of it for a second. I wasn't paying attention. I took my eyes off of it, and when I pointed it away down low, to always make sure if you clearing a gun, even if you know there's nothing in the head, aim it away. Just be safe. And in this situation, this is why I kind of helped out with me aiming it away. I aimed it down and boom, shot it. It went through my counter and through my floor, and it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? I was freaked out because my doors open, my neighbors, I thought they was going to call the cops, like, hey, a gunshot just went off in this guy's house. That didn't happen, but anyway, I learned from that mistake. I learned to not do that again. Don't be dumb. Pay attention to what you're doing. These guns, they are not toys, all right? You take your attention off for 1 second and you can make a big mistake that potentially could change your life, you know what I'm saying? So really pay attention to what you're doing. If you were messing with guns and you are either working on guns or you're loading guns or you're unloading guns or you're coming back from the range, you're cleaning guns, make sure you pay attention. You have to pay attention that you do not have a bullet in the head, and you need to make sure that you clear that gun properly before you shoot it. So back to my case where I had took my attention off the gun and went away. When I had answered that phone, I should have cleared that gun right then and there, took the mag out, cleared it, this and that. I'll be dropping videos later on, you know, basic tips on, you know, clearing your gun, cleaning your gun, all of that, but we're not going to get into that right now. This is just a simple video on just first time gun buyers and stuff to save money. You know, let's just real quick go over the steps that I said. 1, buy a handgun for your first thing. This can go with you everywhere. This is going to help you a lot. It can be used in home defense and the EDC weapon, okay? AR-15s and everything cannot. Step 2. Make sure that what you're buying a gun for is what you need it for, okay? So if you're buying a gun to defend yourself in a home, but you may not need it to move around with, okay, you can go for something like an AR-15 or something like that. As you can see, I have an ARP in the back. That's my home defense weapon, all right? I love that thing, all right? You got other weapons too, different type of pistols. 40 cal, 9mm. This is a sweet one. And then this is a gun though I will recommend to first time gun buyers. This right here is a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0, alright? It's a 380. This is the size of my 40 cal pistol compared to this. You see the difference? This is 19X compared to that, still a big difference. Another 19. And I want to go over this too before this. Big difference. This gun right here has a safety on it. Okay, it has one safety on it. But it also has a loaded chamber indicator at the top right there. And you can kind of see it on the side right there, tell you if there's one in the head. That could save you a lot, especially if you don't know what you're doing with guns and you don't know how to clear them or you don't know how to check what's in the head, blah, blah, blah. Those are the things you need to do. And like I said, attention too. Pay attention to what you're doing. I've seen a lot of people shoot guns off in apartments, shoot fucking in the ceiling, or shoot down on the floor. You have to pay attention. You have neighbors, you have people here that don't know what you're doing, and some people don't even support guns, and now you're giving them a reason not even to support it even more. Before I end this video though, I do want another tip to save some money. I bought this gun to be an everyday carry, okay? I added attachments later on to it. As you see, I added the mag extension and I added the compensator. And when I added these things, it basically defeated the whole purpose of it being the EDC weapon. And I had to buy a new gun because I bought this. I bought the comp and I bought the mag extension. These easily cost a good amount of money. And I wasn't about to let it go to waste. I wasn't just about to take them off and not use them. Like, what? Could've, but instead I went and I got a different gun. I ended up getting something like this, which is a deep concealed pistol. I could carry this on my body, this and that, and it's low recoil. Honestly, y'all probably like this. This is really good, especially for a woman or something. Really good. This bad boy though, this is my EDC. All right, I used to EDC the 40 cal, but like I said, this is my first pistol I bought, and it was a little bigger for me. It was kind of big on my waist. Kind of felt uncomfortable when I was moving and stuff. So fortunately my camera died. But that was basically it with the video. Just really remember, pay attention to what you're doing, pay attention to what you're buying, pay attention to when you're playing with guns, get what you need, you know what I'm saying? Buy a pistol first, in my opinion, all of that. Anyway, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Hopefully they'll be better than this one. Anyway, see y'all. Peace.